Aisha had always imagined marriage as the beginning of a beautiful life. In her dreams, it was full of laughter, understanding, and quiet moments of love. She believed that marriage would give her a partner who would listen to her, support her, and walk beside her through every difficulty. Like many girls, she grew up hearing stories that promised happiness after marriage, so she trusted those words without doubt. When her parents told her they had found a suitable match, she felt nervous but hopeful. Salman was educated, had a stable job, and came from a respected family. Everyone around her said she was fortunate. Her relatives praised her destiny, and her friends congratulated her with excitement. Aisha met Salman only a few times before the wedding. Their conversations were polite and short. He spoke little about himself and asked very few questions about her. Still, Aisha thought that love and understanding would grow with time. She told herself that many successful marriages began this way. The wedding day arrived with bright lights, colorful decorations, and loud music. Guests filled the hall, smiling and laughing. Aisha sat quietly, dressed in red, surrounded by people, yet feeling strangely alone. Her heart felt heavy, but she blamed it on wedding nerves. She tried to smile for the cameras and greet guests with kindness. Everyone said she looked beautiful, but no one noticed the fear hidden behind her eyes. After the wedding, Aisha left her parents' home and stepped into a new world. Salman's house was neat and well organized, but it did not feel warm. His family treated her with formality. They were not unkind, but they were not loving either. Aisha tried her best to adjust. She woke up early, learned the house rules, and worked hard to please everyone. She believed that if she tried enough, happiness would come. Salman, however, remained distant. He left early for work and returned late in the evening. When he came home, he often sat silently, scrolling through his phone or watching television. Aisha tried to start conversations. She asked about his day, his work, and his interests. Most of the time, his replies were short and emotionless. He never asked about her feelings or her day. At night, they slept in the same room, but the silence between them felt louder than words. Aisha would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering why she felt so empty. She questioned herself again and again. Was she doing something wrong? Was she expecting too much? She remembered her mother's advice to be patient and understanding, so she kept quiet. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The excitement of being newly married faded quickly. Aisha's life became a routine of household work and waiting. She waited for Salman to talk, to notice her, to care. She dressed nicely for him, cooked his favorite meals, and tried to make the home pleasant. Still, nothing changed. Sometimes, she watched other couples outside, laughing and talking, and felt a deep pain in her heart. She did not want luxury or gifts. She only wanted kindness, attention, and emotional connection. She wanted to feel valued. One evening, after gathering courage for many days, Aisha finally spoke. Her voice trembled as she asked Salman if he was happy with their marriage. The question surprised him. He looked at her as if he had never thought about it before. After a long pause, he replied calmly that marriage was a responsibility and happiness was not important. His words felt like a sharp wound. Aisha felt tears burn her eyes, but she controlled herself. She realized that Salman saw marriage as a duty, not a relationship. For him, providing food, shelter, and money was enough. He did not understand emotional needs, and perhaps he had never been taught to. That night, Aisha cried silently. She missed her parents, her old room, and the life where she felt heard. She wanted to call her mother and share her pain, but she stopped herself. She did not want to worry them or feel like a failure. Society had taught her that patience was a woman's strength, so she tried to be strong. As days passed, her smile slowly disappeared. She laughed less and spoke less. The house felt colder, and her heart felt heavier. She was married, yet she felt more alone than ever before. She began to understand a painful truth. Marriage does not always bring happiness, especially when two hearts fail to connect. Aisha stood at the beginning of a long emotional journey. She did not know what the future held, but one thing was clear in her mind. She had entered marriage with hope, but now she was living in silence, carrying a loneliness she never expected. The silence in Aisha's life grew deeper with each passing day. What once felt like a temporary phase slowly became her daily reality. She moved through the house like a shadow, completing her responsibilities without complaint. From the outside, everything looked normal. She was a married woman living in a respectable home, but inside, her heart felt empty and tired. Aisha stopped expecting small gestures from Salman. She no longer waited for him to ask about her day or notice the effort she put into the house. When expectations disappear, hope often fades with them. She focused on her chores because work helped her forget the ache in her chest, even if only for a short time. Salman believed he was a good husband. He paid the bills on time, provided a comfortable life, and never raised his voice at her. In his mind, love was not shown through words or emotions but through duty. He had grown up in a home where feelings were rarely discussed. His father believed that silence was strength, and his mother had learned to accept it. Without realizing it, Salman followed the same path. Aisha noticed that whenever she tried to express her feelings, Salman became uncomfortable. He would change the topic or walk away. Slowly, she learned to keep her thoughts to herself. Her words stayed trapped inside her, turning into quiet sadness. She often sat by the window in the evening, watching the sky change colors, wondering when her life had lost its brightness. One day, Aisha fell ill with a high fever. Her body felt weak, and her head ached badly. She stayed in bed all day, hoping Salman would notice her condition. He left for work as usual, unaware of her sickness. When he returned late at night, he ate dinner and went to sleep without asking about her health. That moment broke something inside her. It was not the illness that hurt her most, but the feeling of being invisible. Lying alone in bed, Aisha thought deeply about her life. She realized that love is not only about being together in the same house. Love is about care, attention, and understanding. Without these, marriage becomes an empty structure, standing on weak foundations. She asked herself whether she could continue living like this for the rest of her life. The next day, when she felt slightly better, Aisha made a brave decision. She decided to speak honestly, without fear. That evening, when Salman returned from work, she asked him to sit with her. Her voice was calm, but her heart was racing. She told him about her loneliness, her silent tears, and her emotional pain. She spoke about the nights she cried quietly and the days she felt ignored. For the first time, Salman did not interrupt her. He listened in silence. He saw pain in her eyes that he had never noticed before. Her words made him uncomfortable, but they also made him think. He realized that providing money and shelter was not enough to build a meaningful relationship. After a long silence, Salman spoke slowly. He admitted that he never learned how to express emotions. He said that in his family, love was never shown through words or affection. He believed that fulfilling responsibilities was the only way to be a good husband. He confessed that he did not know how to give emotional support because no one had ever taught him. Aisha listened carefully. For the first time, she saw a different side of Salman. He was not cruel, but he was emotionally unaware. This realization did not erase her pain, but it helped her understand the reason behind his behavior. That night, they talked for a long time. It was not an easy conversation. There were moments of silence, misunderstanding, and tears. But it was honest. They both realized that marriage cannot survive without communication. They agreed that change was necessary. Salman promised to try, even if it felt difficult. Aisha promised to be patient, but she also promised herself not to remain silent anymore. They decided to take small steps. Simple conversations, shared meals, and time together without distractions became their new goals. The future remained uncertain. Trust and understanding take time to grow, especially when they have been missing from the beginning. Aisha knew that healing would not happen overnight. Still, a small light of hope appeared in her heart. She understood an important lesson through her pain. Marriage is not guaranteed happiness. It requires effort, emotional awareness, and mutual respect. Without these, even a legally bound relationship can feel empty. As Aisha went to sleep that night, her heart felt slightly lighter. The problems were not solved, but they were finally acknowledged. For the first time since her marriage, she felt seen and heard. Whether their relationship would grow stronger or fall apart was still unknown, but at least the silence had been broken.